Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today, if you guys, this is another Borderlands 4 video. I know I might sound kind of weird. I've been off and on sick for the past 2 freaking weeks because Hogwarts kids are dirty and weird. And yeah, so I'm going to try not to cough or sound horrible in this video, but I wanted to make content. So Borderlands 4 is a game that released on September 12th, almost a month. And you know, I made my first impressions video. I was maybe like 15, 20 hours in. I don't know, something. I was fairly new to it, and I was like, yeah, it's fun, right? It's a really fun game. It's extremely addicting. It looks good for the most part, right? It runs okay, you know, aside from the fact that it didn't, and you had some, you know, good music and good voice acting, good story, so the game, you know, for me at least, pretty favorably, you know, positive. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the best thing ever made, but, you know, it was fun, right? My $70 or whatever didn't really feel like it was squandered, but then I actually went to play it more after that video, and I was like, or before I made the video, I was like, oh, this isn't too great, you know, like, it looks good, but, you know, a lot of the guns didn't really load or register, and it felt like you were playing kind of like Minecraft shooter, right, like, it was very blocky and pixely. It stuttered like a motherfudger. I mean, it was, like, worse than Porky Pig. It was so bad. I mean, you turn the camera, you would do, anytime there'd be, like, more than 2 enemies on the screen, you'd lag, you would, and this is on PS5, you drop down to, like, you know, I mean, I don't have an FPS counter, but I imagine it was like, you know, 10, 15 FPS when it's supposed to be 60. It was just it was a nightmare, truly. It was a massive, massive nightmare. And the game was, the worst part was that it was fun. The game was incredibly fun. It just didn't run well at all. It had a memory leak issue, so essentially the more you played the game, the worse it performed. And this was also on Xbox and especially on PC. The game was just pretty much a disaster. And I was like, okay, it's fun. It's extremely fun. It looks okay. It just doesn't run great. You know what I mean? There's a few things they got to patch and fix, and then maybe I can you know, tell people to play it. Because I could not recommend it during that last Borderlands 4 video. I could not. Like, if you're a massive Borderlands fan, maybe, like, if you have to get it, like me. But if you're just a shooter fan or you just want a fun game, like, yeah, it's fun, but it, as a video game, it didn't really work as intended. Like I say all the time, it's like buying a car without a steering wheel. It's like, what's the freaking point? You know what I mean? Like, if you buy a video game, it probably should work and not lag and run like garbage, you know? I mean, it's 2025. And then I think 2 weeks went by, and the FOV slider, Jesus. 2 weeks go by, and I was in Hogwarts, you know, teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts, and boom, I checked Twitter, and it said that Borderlands 4 got a massive patch. So after school, I go home, and this is when the patch dropped, you know, a week or two ago. And I downloaded it, and to my surprise, it actually ran better. Now, does the game run flawlessly 60? No. Should it? Yes, because that's what it's advertised. But it is a lot better and a lot more stable than it was in that last video I made. The game isn't perfect. You know, I do think the graphics are better. It's not as pixely, right? When you pull out a gun, it sometimes can, you know, the textures or whatever on it can sometimes take a minute to load, but it's not as bad, and really you have to, you know, be really, really looking at it to actually notice that. So I think the graphics elements pretty much got fixed, I would say. And then, of course, the performance, right? That was my biggest detriment to the game, because the longer you play it, the worse it gets. So it's like you're kind of getting penalized for playing it. And thankfully, as far as I could tell, again, I'm on PS5, so I don't know the deal with Series X and PC, but I'm assuming it's fixed there too, that the game does run better. Like, the memory leak issue seems to be fixed. I played for sometimes 2 hours in my free time, and you know, before this big patch, it would take maybe 20-30 minutes, and then you would start noticing some frequent dips in frame rate. This is just, like, way better the whole time. So, I mean, the only time it does lag is, you know, certain, like, massive city areas or massive, you know, I guess graphically vital areas. So it's not perfect. You know, there is still a little bit of stutter, a little bit of lag, but it is night and day, truly. It plays really effing good now. Is it, you know, the perfect performing game? No, but I think in terms of Borderlands, it still isn't. But in terms of Borderlands, like, the fun factor, I played and beat Borderlands 2, 3, and yeah, that's it. But I haven't touched Borderlands 1 yet, or the pre-sequel, and I'm about a little more than halfway done with Tiny Tina. But the games that I have played are all incredible. Like, Borderlands I mean, it's probably my favorite FPS franchise. I love Call of Duty. I love Battlefront. But Borderlands is just, I don't know, it's freaking crazy cool. So the Borderlands 4 is, I think, the most fun I've had with a Borderlands game, though. I mean, like I said, it's still addicting. When you're, running around shooting, bandits or psychos or spiders or whatever, and like you slide and then you grapple onto a grapple point, and you fly in the air, then you pull out a rocket launcher and shoot 3 rocket launchers, then you nail down and do your special ability. I'm playing as Rafa. And Rafa pulls out, like, missile launchers, and then you pull out a shotgun. I mean, it's genuinely addicting. It is very, very fun. And it's not just because you're shooting shit. Like, the fact that, it gives you really good hit marker sound effects. The UI is good and clean, and the sound effects are top tier. Everything, it's kind of like a good slot machine in a casino, right? I've only gambled, like, once or twice. I barely gamble. I'm not promoting that shit. But, when you do it, and it's, like, not a bad experience, right? It's like, oh yeah, this could be okay. I mean, it's like a slot machine. It's like, opening a loot box in Call of Duty, right? It feels good, but at the same time, it's probably not a wise choice. So it's kind of like that. But with Borderlands 4, it's always going to be a wise choice because the game, there's no microtransaction shit. I mean, like you open a chest, right, and it ping, it makes the sound effects and all that. So everything you expect from Borderlands is there, and in spades, and it's just better. Really, I mean, it's a much better experience. I mean, the frame rate is a lot better. The stuttering is a lot better. The graphics are better. The story, all the stuff that you really can't patch out, like story, gameplay feel, that stuff didn't really change. But because of the fact that it isn't lagging to like 6 FPS every 20 minutes, it does play a lot better. And it gives you the sense of, oh, okay, this is really good. Like, it feels better to play. So if you were kind of on the fence of should I buy this game, I don't even want to say it's on a sale because it probably ain't, but it does run a lot better for sure. It is a massively improved experience than when I played it before that big patch. And we did get a second patch just recently, I believe last week, with the Vault Hunter patch thing, and that kind of allows Rafa and Amon or Ammon, whatever, the Siren chick and the other person to pretty much play better, right? Like they have buffs and they have fixes and stuff like that to make the gameplay more exciting or whatever. I don't really care too much about the stats. I know it is an RPG game franchise. To me, Borderlands isn't as RPG focused as like a Souls game. You know what I mean? And I sound like shit right now. Or Skyrim or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really feel like that to me. Like, Borderlands to me is more of a shooter than an RPG. And I know it is both. But I feel like, for me personally, when they dropped that Vault Hunter patch, I wasn't like, oh, I gotta see how they buffed Rafa. Is this 4% better? They were like, oh, Rafa's projectiles are 4% more effective, and they used to be 6. I'm like, who cares? Like, great, awesome. I don't effing care. Like, I didn't notice a difference between this last patch and this one. I don't notice that. I mean, maybe it's subliminal, but I wasn't playing it like, oh wow, Rafa's 4% better in this one gun. Like, I don't care. If you do, that's great. I'm not knocking you, but I mean, personally, I really don't care about that stuff. But I was like, oh, cool, are there any performance fixes? And I think it was like, little stability things. But for me, the biggest issue was like everything was, the story was good. The graphics were pretty good. It was just that frame rate. And it was just that, the fact that the game felt like it was, chugging along, like a train missing its axles or whatever the hell, the wheels or whatever, the engine's gone and there's no coal left, something like that, right? It's like Thomas in every episode, that kid show Thomas, it's like every episode of Thomas, you think something's gonna happen, and then like it never fails, every episode Thomas or Percy or Henry or someone, they always plow through a fucking a house, or some families eating dinner and they bush through the side of a garage or whatever. There's always some kind of massive terrorist attack looking thing that happens in every episode of that show, at least the ones I've seen. And it's like, how did we get there, right? Like Thomas is just delivering goods, and then he's like busted in through a family of 4, and he almost kills people. And then, Sir Topomat's like, I'm very cross at you. It's like that, right? It's like, you think it's going to happen, and then all hell breaks loose, right? So it's kind of like that, but in a good way, right? Like, there's a lot of chaotic moments in this game where it feels like that. It feels like Thomas is going to blow up through a house, right? But except you're Thomas, and instead of a train, you have a gun, right? I know it's a weird analogy, but hear me out. It's a decent metaphor. I think it works, right? When the game is firing on all cylinders, no pun intended, and it's not running like a depressed Snorlax, I think it does really, really stick that landing. It is extremely fun regardless, just to explore Kairos and shoot bad guys or whatever, and level up and find new guns and, compare the damage or whatever. There's certain things I care about. I care more about the gun statistics than the Vault Hunters, because if you'd ever play Borderlands, you start the campaign or you start the game with one select Vault Hunter out of 4, and then if you want to switch Vault Hunters, you either have to start a brand new game from 0%, or you have to beat the whole game and then, do New Game Plus, or it's just, it's not like a Lego game where, like, you hold the Y button and you have, like, a character grid, like, if you want to play as Ammon or Vex or whoever the fudge the Siren Girl is, you have to start a brand new game, which I never liked that with these games, because I get it, it fosters replay value, but I just kind of want to try out a character, without having to go back to level 1, redo the whole story and every collectible, it just feels kind of, I get why they did it, right? It's because you want to play it multiple times, and in that regard, Borderlands is like, top tier replay value, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the game is, like I said, the game runs better, way better. There's still some instances of hitching and whatever, but it's in more demanding situations, and again, the game's not even out for a month yet. They're gonna, do more stability fixes for all consoles, I'm sure. And there's going to be more patches, and maybe I'll make some more update videos along the way. I wish I could film on PS5. I still don't know how to do that. So you're just seeing some random-ass gameplay. But, for me, personally, if you are on PS5 and you had these crazy issues, right? Plus the FOV slider, man, that really, really saved it for me. Playing that game at default 75 field of view, it was effing bad. I don't get motion sickness. I think I said in the last video, the only time I ever got motion sickness playing a video game, recently, was I was playing, I think, like Modern Warfare 3 or something. I was playing some shooter at like a really high FOV, like 120 or some shit. And then I played Far Cry 5 because I got that, next-gen patch or whatever, the 60 FPS update. And I put it in Far Cry 5, and it, that game does not have an FOV slider on console. So I went from 120 to, like, I don't know what the default is for Far Cry 5. Maybe 90, maybe 70, I don't know. But it was such a jarring, transition. I genuinely got dizzy, and I had to put the controller down for like 20 minutes. I couldn't. I thought I was dying. I'm like, this is not the last game I play. Please don't let Far Cry 5 be the last game I play before I die. Like, for God's sake, please, right? And it's like, okay, I was fine, and then I put in Modern Warfare 3, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So, like, going from a really high FOV to a really low FOV, it can mess with some people's heads. I get that. But, some people, they just can't play it at 75. They'll die. And thankfully for me, it was like, okay, I can play it 75, but I don't like it. So finally, with this, last patch, the last massive patch, the one that wasn't Vault Hunter related, I cranked it up to, I think I'm playing at 100, either 110 or 105. I don't know. But the field of view is a lot better. You have a better sense of speed. You can see more around you. It's just, if you're playing Borderlands, you gotta crank up the FOV. You have to. If you don't, you're an idiot. Like, straight up. Like, you have to. It's a requirement for the most part. And now, thankfully, I can report that every single main Borderlands game on console has an FOV slider, which is good. They say that cranking the FOV too high will cause performance issues. I don't see that, because I put it back to 75 and I had the same stuttering in the same locations. So if you could not play at 75 field of view, I would crank that up to at least 100, 105, 110, and you will see a massive change in how you traverse the land, how you shoot bad guys, how you see more stuff around you. It's a lot of a better experience. Couple that with better graphics and better frame rate, you have a very, very, very good FPS RPG game. I can definitely say, as a reputable, I'm a big Borderlands fan, right? Hell, I didn't even hate the movie, but I haven't played all the games, so I'm not gonna lie to you, but I've played a few of them, and I think they're incredible. And as a massive Borderlands fan, I do recommend Borderlands 4 now. Unless they drop another patch this week and it breaks the whole freaking thing. But right now, I think we're at a stage in this game where I feel comfortable for all 8 of you watching to buy this game. Because if you were kind of on the fence and you heard about the frame rate, you heard about the FOV, you heard about all these things that kind of hurt the game when it dropped, a lot of it is either outright fixed or ironed out to a degree where you can feel comfortable, buying it. So yeah, I'm loving the game. I'm not done with the story yet. I've got about maybe 60 hours, I would say. I just turned level 40 in the game, level 50, and I can finally use this freaking legendary gun I got from the start. But yeah, thankfully it's just fun. Like, it's always been fun, but now it's just a much better experience. And, is it the best Borderlands? Maybe not. Maybe that's still 2, maybe 3 for me, but I think in terms of, how it plays, 4 is for sure. How it runs, I mean, Borderlands 2 and 1, those are older games, so those are obviously going to be locked 120 or 60 or whatever it is. But Borderlands 4, like I said, it runs a lot better, and it's a lot smoother now. So if you were really, really hesitant, now is your time. Does it still have issues? Yeah, again, every game does, but they're going to probably fix these. And I am glad it took them about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks to get that FOV slider in, because like some people on Twitter and Reddit, they're drama queens, and they're like, I'm not playing this game at all. I wasted my money. And it's like, okay, look, if you really, really, really wanted to play Borderlands 4, you'd play it at 75 FOV. I did, okay? I wasn't barfing like a madman. So I think you really need to kind of understand, some people blew it out of proportion, but for normal people who aren't crazy, yeah, like, it's a lot better of an experience now for sure, and I definitely recommend it. So, again, I'll make more Borderlands 4 videos, but right now, it's at a state where I'm happy with it, and I'm glad that they're at where they're at, and I hopefully will get, more fixes soon, but as of right now, it's a freaking blast. I'm loving it, and yeah, it's just a really good time. So tell me down below in the comments what you think about Borderlands 4. Again, hopefully I'll have another video out soon. I have a lot of ideas. It's just, being sick and then school and all that, it is kind of a lot on my plate, but I'm not dead. I am making more content, don't worry, and I'm very excited to cover more about this game when we do get more patches, but right now, it's great, it's a lot of fun, good story, good writing, good gameplay, and yeah, really great time. Tell me down below in the comments, again, what's your favorite Borderlands game, and what are your thoughts on BO4? Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.